Hollywood, known worldwide as the mecca of glitz, glamour, and stardom. But beneath the pizzazz, there lies madness and tragedy. I'm standing here, in an alley in North Hollywood, behind a renowned nondescript theater, where Drew Doyle, a successful Los Angeles theater actor, has lived for the past 6 months.
My cherry lips have often kissed thy stones.
According to reports given to me by otherwise untrustworthy people, one night last summer, Mr. Doyle experienced a psychotic episode during the closing production of Shakespeare's King Phycus, performed at this completely random theater. The play, a comedic farce lampooning Shakespeare's most famous characters, was going well, until a small fire broke out just before the final curtain call.
It was crazy, man. The actors were just getting ready to take their bows, and we saw smoke coming from backstage. The actors panicked, of course, ran screaming for the exits, and the audience just followed.
Was anybody hurt?
No, nobody was hurt, thank goodness, and there wasn't any major damage, which was awesome.
Did the actors get their curtain call?
No. Who gives a
After the fire was put out, and it was determined that there were no injuries, the actors and staff congratulated each other on a successful production, packed up their belongings, and went Betty-bye. All the actors, except Drew Doyle.
Tally-ho! Well, we came in the next day to tear down the set, and there he was, in the middle of the stage in a chair, like a throne, and something was clearly wrong with the guy. We worked around him as much as we could, but eventually he got in the way. He kept saying it was his kingdom. So we said, the alley's his kingdom too. So.
Mr. Doyle, how long...
I know not, mister. Thou'lt call me king.
Excuse me, King Doyle. How long have you been living here?
My father and my father's father herein for centuries hath dwelt upon this heath. Here sprung the source of mine blood's font, behind this cold castle's granite teeth.
When was the last time you spoke to your wife?
My queen.
It's been a nightmare. I've been trying to get him home for months, but he just won't get out of that alley. I bring him food every day and talk to him. I mean, he's there, but I just need my husband back, you know? The doctor says there is a way, though.
Dr. Lustig Meshuggah is a clinical psychiatrist at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. He is considered a world expert on the theatrically insane.
Yeah, there is a way to return Mr. Doyle to his pre-psychotic state. The actor's mind, you see, is a fragile thing that requires constant stimulation from outside sources in the form of encouragement from your fellow actors or your friends or meaningless Los Angeles theater awards. Otherwise, the fragile ego is in danger of collapsing upon itself like a black hole. In the case of Mr. Doyle, the fire denied him the opportunity to receive the audience applause at the final curtains call. And this denial was apparently sufficient for him to, if I may say in a psychiatric term, lose his marbles.
When marbles are lost, can they be found?
Jawohl, you can always find your marbles again. But this is not so easy, you see. You must remount a full production of the same play, with the same players. In this way, Mr. Doyle will finally receive the adulation that his pitiful ego feels it deserves. Ha! Otherwise, I'm sorry to say, he will remain, in the words of the immoral William Shakespeare, cuckoo, for the rest of his days.
Fascinating. We contacted each of the original actors and found that most were eager to remount the play. They had heard of Mr. Doyle's plight and were working diligently to raise the necessary funds.
I'd love to help Drew out. Yeah, it'd be nice to hit the boards again for sure. But sign spinning ain't what it used to be. Unlike my other passion, which is rocking a cowbell in a jazz trio, that's going, well, we don't get a lot of gigs, but man, I need to get some water. I'm going to pass out in this suit.
Oh, Drew, yeah, he's a good guy. I'd do just about anything for him. Been working the girls extra hard. I've been working extra hard, down at the plant, make a little extra money for Drew and his family. Hey, Sharice! Hey, where's my money at?
I don't work for you no more! I think crazy is such a negative word. And I think he could be having a past life experience. And I think we should all just be supportive. I would like to do the play again, though. So I've decided to sell these dolls I made out of my own body hair.
I'm staking a claim for Drew. Because he deserves it. He's a good man. But haven't found anything yet. Because this is the LA River and it's made of concrete. But I'm keeping hope alive. Somebody's got to drop some gold down upriver or something like that. Some drug dealer or something. That's what they got here in Los Angeles. Saw here.
Oh, I'm so flattered you asked me, but unfortunately I just don't see how that will be possible, as I'm currently out of town doing another show. It's a production of 10 Chimneys, and I play Uta Hagen, who, you may not have heard of her. She was the mother of the modern American acting technique. I wish Drew all the best, and I do hope he finds a way to get his shit together.
I was really worried about Abby because the doctor said it won't work without her. But I just found out yesterday that her show is closing early, so Abby agreed to do it. I'm gonna get my Drew back. We're gonna get Daddy back. Yes, we are.
With all the actors agreeing to return for a second production of William Shakespeare's King Phycus, Dr. Meshuggah assured us that Mr. Doyle would make a full recovery. Mrs. Doyle has started a Kickstarter campaign to raise money to cover production costs. She tells us that the slogan for the campaign will be "Help Us, Help Drew." And now, back to Drew in the studio.
Oh, for a benefactor to assume the daunting debt's expense of this production, the funding for a stage, paychecks to act, and coin enough to cost him kings and queens. Oh, then should King Phycus and his foes be played by major stars, who on these boards larger than life will die death on tragic death for your enjoyment.